Hi, in this video, we're going to go through interaction settings on your Android device under accessibility. So we're going to open up settings and we're going to scroll down until we see accessibility. Last time we talked about the screen reader and the display. Those are settings that are helpful to people who have vision impairments. Next, we're going to talk about interaction control. So interaction control, first up is the accessibility menu. When you turn this on, full control is appropriate for apps that help you with accessibility needs, but not for most apps. View and control your screen, view and perform actions. We're going to just allow this so it pops up here. When I click that shortcut now, it brings a whole host of shortcuts for me. I can do my brightness, I can look at recent apps, I can lock my screen, I can get to my settings very quickly, I can take a screenshot. So some of these things that normally you have to do extra gestures and things for, you can just quickly get to. Many of my clients like having this feature. So you can see that it added it as a shortcut. One of these little moving. You can adjust it to wherever you want it. And again, they will stack up on each other as you turn on various shortcuts. Voice access will let you control your Android device hands-free. Use voice commands to open up apps, tap buttons, scroll, type, and more. Currently, it's only available in a few languages. You can turn this on to explore that. It is an interesting way to use your device once you've gotten the hang of it. I used it when I had a baby at home and I needed to be hands-free as much as possible. It was kind of like turning up your Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa to a different level. It was very interesting. So I encourage you to check that out. Okay, so for switch access, switches, of course, are devices that people with limited mobility use. They could just use a tapping motion, or if they're paralyzed from the neck down, they may have it installed on the head of their wheelchair so they can tap back and forth. But switches are like if you were just to hit the tab button to navigate on your screen, that's a very similar experience to a switch. So you can turn on switch access, in which it would ask you to pair a Bluetooth switch device, and you can read more about this here. Timing controls. One of the things that I hear, especially from the older users that we work with, that there is a touch and hold delay is something that has been helpful for them. So they feel like their phone is too touchy, that they just brushed it and it's doing something and they don't understand what's happening, right? So you can change that from short to medium or long, whatever is going to be the better interactive pattern for your user. Also, the time to take an action. So are you looking for it to how do they describe it? Choose how long to show messages that ask you to take action but are only temporarily visible. Oh, I was thinking it was a different I think it was dwell. So time to take action is when you get a notification, how quickly it disappears. Some people, like me, I like the notification to just go away. Other people were like, actually, I wanted to click on those. Why does it disappear so fast? You can leave them up longer. And then dwell was the one that I was thinking of. That's how long you're holding the button. So, like I said, some people are looking for the medium or long term, but there's also holding your button down. So short, medium, long, and then you can set a custom. Typically, the dwell timing has to do with a connected mouse that you have. So if you're really looking for holding with your finger to the screen, you want to do the touch and hold delay. There are system controls. So Navigation is one of the first things that I encourage people to check and change. Gesture-based navigation is like the screen is showing you right now, where you're dragging everything around on your screen. You have to move in certain ways to get something to happen. Whereas the 3-button navigation now gives you those 3 buttons at the bottom of your screen: the arrow to go back, the circle to go home, and the square to have your apps. With gesture navigation, if this is something your people do enjoy, you can change various settings to make sure that it's moving when you think it should move. Whereas the 3-button navigation, these stay the same. This 3-button navigation is really good for people with cognition issues, because they can recognize that they need to go back. They can recognize that these are buttons that they can interact with, instead of just staring at a screen and have no idea how to navigate. There we go. One-handed mode. Again, it can be helpful for a lot of people, but especially those people who literally only have one hand. I leave mine turned on because sometimes it's helpful for me in the life that I live. To use one-handed mode, you swipe down from the top or from the bottom edge of the screen to use the feature. When you swipe down, it's going to pull things into reach, or it would show notifications. It's up to you what that swipe down is supposed to do. And then one-handed mode shortcut, you can turn that on. And again, it pops up over here. So if you just tap it, that would give you your one-handed mode. Tap it again to turn it off. And then vibration and haptics. Because of the program I'm doing right now with you, I don't want my phone to vibrate every time I get a notification and you hear that, so it's currently off, but interacting with vibrations is helpful. So it would be if you're typing on your device. Actually, let's just go ahead and turn that on so we can look at this. All right, so use vibration and haptics. Vibrate for calls. Typically, I always let it vibrate because sometimes I'll hear that vibration over the ringtone. My default ringtone is the loudest it can be. Of course, I can still change it by adjusting these settings. Notification vibration, maybe I want that to be stronger. And then touch feedback is when, say, you're tapping on the phone, you're typing on the keyboard, there's a vibration that tells you, yes, we felt that touch, we are reacting to that touch. I'm not a fan of that one, but other people who aren't sure if it recognized their touch like having that on there. Sometimes while people are getting used to their new device, I will leave it on, and then we'll leave it off, and we'll turn it off once they're more used to how interactions work on the device, just for their own peace of mind. All right, in the next video, we're going to go over captions. We'll see you soon.